Yes, excellent. So what it should also do is it should allow people who are like tuning into the Facebook page, the video will just automatically appear there, and therefore I don't have to create another activity that takes us there. So again, I'm gonna thank you for your indulgence. We've already started this, and I am back, and I'm gonna go ahead and we are already streaming to live stream. So that means that we are being recorded on, we're being recorded on our Massachusetts Baystate LSA page, which means that we have now created a permanent history of this recording. It's all going to our Baystate page. And so every week we could just do it this way, and therefore everybody has access immediately. So I like that a lot. So thank you again for your patience. Hello, my name is Jeanette Ocampo Welch. People call me Joe, and I am the CMC here in Massachusetts and a proud coming on second month as senior director. And I am so excited to, I know, right? I'm so excited to welcome Jim Tanner, our regional director, also $200,000 ring earner, member of the Millionaire Club, and also an author. I just can't wait to get that book. And oh, look at that. Is that my autograph copy? Is that my autograph? No, it's not. And also, just what a great partner in crime. It's been such an honor to be able to learn so much from each other, to be able to inherit the wisdom that you've gotten and also that you share with your team. And I know that everybody here is just gonna absolutely benefit from those, from working with us, working with you. And I just wanna thank you and welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and get that slideshow going in just a hair. Do you wanna go ahead and say hello?
Yeah, well, first of all, I am excited to be here. For those folks that are in my team in Legal Shield, you know that we just got off an hour of webinar training where we talked a lot about maximizing the compensation plan, qualifying for executive director. Listen, you can earn $308 or $110 for the exact same activity, and you get to choose. That is not how it worked before Legal Shield for me, when I was delivering furniture all day, working at the mall at night, trading time for money. There was no way for me to get paid more money for the same energy and effort and time I put into something. But that's what we get to do here. We get to move up through the compensation plan, and we get to pay it forward. We get to share with other people, not just this incredible service, but also the opportunity. That means you get to be an agent of change in the life of somebody else. And I also want to acknowledge that that's how all of us got here, right? Somebody thought enough of us to share it with us when they were probably scared to do it. We were afraid we were going to reject them, or at least tell them we weren't interested. And they showed it to us anyway. And a whole bunch of us, I'll bet, said, you know, I'm not sure. Let me think about it. Call me in a week or a month or a year. And that person had to keep following up with us. And they still did. And we're here. And we get to change our lives because that person did that. The challenge then is for us to acknowledge that and recognize it and hold it in space right here so that we can see it, but then make sure we make the commitment individually that this never ends with any of us. Harlan Stone Cipher had to do this when nobody was sure any of it was going to work. Now it's a billion-dollar company. The pioneers that came before us, they are entrusting us with the future of this business. And I don't take that casually. I believe that if they're going to trust us with the future of it, then the future has to be even bigger than the past and the present. And so I'm excited for today. I mean, just today, I've been doing this a long time. I've been inviting people to take a look at Legal Shield for a long time. I have never had so many positive responses as I'm having right now when I ask somebody if they're keeping their options open and they're willing to take a look at something. Now you might think, well, it's because I've made over $1 million doing this, or that I make a multiple six-figure annual income, or that I wrote a book about it. but they don't know any of that, because when you do a good invitation, you would never say any of those things. You get out of the way and let them see the same material that somebody let you see. So I know that none of those are the reasons, and I like to bring it up because people think that might be it. And also, I don't have a Brian Carruthers sports car that I park at the gas station to recruit with. I'm just a regular dude, and I'm just showing people Legal Shield and getting the heck out of the way so they can see it, and then helping people get started. And again, I just wanted to say, if you're brand new and you're not sure what to do, just do something, because people are looking for what we have. Just get them in front of it. You're not sure what to say. I don't say something. Get them in front of a presentation, because it's Legal Shield. And with all respect to other things that people can do, this is when I start going off script, this is when I get in trouble. Here we go. This ain't $5,000 worth of stretch pants. This is Legal Shield. Like, people need what we have. They need the opportunity, they need the service, and they need it right now, not tomorrow, not a month from now, not a year from now. They need it July 23rd, 2020. I hope when we're done tonight, you invite some people to take a look at Legal Shield, because the business day is not over. We're over here. They're 3 hours behind us in California, 4, 5, 6 hours behind us in Alaska and Hawaii. And then you can just stay up a little bit later, and it'll be time to start working in the UK, because they're 5 hours ahead of us, right? 5 or 6. So listen, you don't even have to sleep anymore if you don't want to. We've got a global business, and you can share and invite every single day and all day. Joe, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, but I see your slides are up, so I'm going to let you go. Hopefully I haven't offended anybody yet.
You're raising this amazing point about that. We're able to share the information. People are seeing it in a different light. We are definitely, our entire worldview has shifted so much. And the other thing that's happening is I'm actually dealing with tech behind the scenes, because that's one of the things that's shifted. And our company has met that challenge in all of our growth and all of the things that we're doing by just continuing to give us more and more resources to be able to reach people from in our pajama bottoms and with, backdrops. And so that is what people are seeing me do. I do apologize for looking away from the camera, but what's happening here is I'm going to go ahead and get started and bring that up right now. Let's see. And I should be able to, right now I'm trying to make sure that I get the right person spotlighted. And so right now that would be me. So hello, everybody. As you can see, you're still seeing a bit of a strange image. Today is just one of those days with technology. Let's see if this is the one. Nope, we're gonna go with this. So again, welcome to our weekly meeting. I know that it is a little clunky to get started, but nothing gives you the real feeling like you're out in a room, like having to deal with tech issues. We are so excited about everything that's going on, including what we have coming up in October. We see here that the 9th through the 11th is our next leadership conference. And the last one, I know, was the last one we had live and in person, and the leadership and the thought leaders that they brought, and the change, and just hearing from and seeing such diversity, so many people coming to the table with their own story. And what you're going to find there, and what we need to do as leaders here, is make sure that our team understands how important the conference is. Now, a lot of people may have questions. Is it going to happen? We know that there's COVID. The only thing I can really say to that is that we know that our company is taking care of us, that they are forward thinking. And just like they did for the last conference, they made the choice to go ahead and do it virtually. We don't have to be a part of that decision right now. We just need to know that we have to carve out that time. The tickets are unbelievably affordable. And it also just packs such a punch in terms of really invigorating your team, because no one has to fly, or because, depending on where you are, for us, it's all East Coast. It means that you're going to see way more of your members there. And that's the place where you get to really see that, like, everybody's in the same boat. You get to see Jim in person. You get to see Darnell Self, people who we see in the videos who feel like our celebrities. You really get a chance to dig into aspects of our business that, you know, you get in a meeting, you get it at a Super Saturday, they're landing with you. But when we get to do it in a room, whether it's virtual or otherwise, it just really changes things. It changes the delivery. So absolutely, I think that is one of our pressing points right now. It's also the end of most people's 90-day run from our exciting news on the Super Saturday. So we just want to make sure that we're building into that. Thank you. And Jim, let's go ahead and spotlight you. And I believe that you are taking on the next slide.
I think I'm unmuted now. So, you know, the one thing we want to do is we want to always profile the reality that people are marketing Legal Shield memberships, recruiting people onto the team. And you know what? They're doing it right here around us. There are our friends and our neighbors and our associates here in the state of Massachusetts. And so I'm looking off to the other side because I've got it on my second screen. But these are the folks that are on the Mad Streak here for the month, which just simply means that they've protected one or more families with a Legal Shield and ID Shield membership anywhere, by the way, in the United States or Canada, right? Because we have a 50-state international business. We can write business in any province. We can write business in any state. Do you have to have a license to sell a legal plan in Massachusetts? Yes. Does that slow down your ability to grow a business that because you live in Massachusetts? No. And anybody needs help with a license, we will help you. Joe's got a great slide on that somewhere. But these are the folks making a difference. Julie Gershon. Julie Gershon and my name are the only ones I know how to pronounce. The rest are just going to be me doing my best. Okay. Julie Gershon, Daquan Brooker, myself and Dr. Danielle Russo, Amy Mahoney, Joe Welch, Fitzgerald and Johann Santine, Josephine Yu, Marilyn Weeks, Michael Salak, Nautilus Growth Partners. Julie's on there twice. That's how good she's doing. How about that? You can tell I made the slide. Ann Salvatore, Bob Sheasley, Sharon Mendez, and Anika Genus, I think that is. Congratulations to all of you. And if I didn't read your name and you're in the Facebook group, because I just shared it to the other Facebook group, let's get you in a position to add to this list. We want to make this pages and pages and pages here in Massachusetts. We want to show all of Legal Shield that there's not just smoke coming out of Massachusetts, there's fire. And the way we do that is by us being active. Wherever we be active is fine. You know, almost everybody I talked to today they weren't in Massachusetts, they were in a different time zone. I mean, everybody was on the West Coast, it seemed like today, or central states. You have a big business, an international business. Build it that way. Not just because of COVID-19. I've always built it this way because I think you all know what happens here around October, November for about 7 months, right? It gets dark and the roads get frozen and there's snow everywhere. And before this, we struggled to have meetings in person for a lot of reasons, weather related. And now we are moving rapidly. So I don't want any of us to act like it's the old days. If you've been around since the old days, like I have, we don't want to act like we're still sharing a VHS cassette to a friend when we've got Prospect by Legal Shield in the palm of our hand. We don't want to act like we're dependent on hotel meetings when we've got Zooms going on multiple times a day that allow us to build a truly virtual international business. And look at the folks we've got on Performance Club already. And we're 2/3 of the way through July. I have the whole report. There's a ton of people knocking on the door of this list. I'm going to need a bigger computer to fit it all on pretty soon because it's going to keep getting bigger. But right now, already Performance Club qualified. Some of these Performance Club Pro, we're just doing it all as one. Daquan Brooker, first month, congratulations, Performance Club qualified. Amy Mahoney, also first month, congratulations. I mean, this is what we do. We get consistent in our business. And through that consistency, we lead a pack of people that are also consistent. And Legal Shield works when it's a group of people doing consistent things that matter over a long period of time. Maylee Robbins, 2 months now in Performance Club. Julie Gershon, 157 months. Well, Julie's not going to slow down, so we're going to have to all speed up, right? So congratulations, Julie, 157 months. Myself and Dr. Russo, 75 months. Doesn't seem like much. Next to, I'm going to move my name away from Julie's next time. And Joe Welch, 20 months, almost 2 years
I can't
in
wait for
Performance
the
Club.
2-year jump. That's going to be
So those folks that are 1 month, 2 months, Amy, I see you on the screen. You know, this is it. It starts here. The consistency starts. The checks start coming. This is Performance Club. In Performance Club, you can earn an extra $6,000 a year by being Performance Club Pro qualified consistently every month. I never had a way to earn an extra $6,000 a year. I mean, if I could have cloned myself, I could have come up with a way to work somewhere and make an extra $6,000 a year. I mean, it's just so exciting what we have as an opportunity here. And look at that handsome fella. I mean, what can you say? I've been talking all day. Can you tell?
I know you are
Oh
on the
man,
roll. We have a
I'm
few
on a roll.
and we are out there. The slides are done. This is we've gotten comfortable, you and I. It's like almost like a, you know, I'm the straight man to your comedy, you're the comedy to my, you know.
That's right.
I think that the thing that you said about, you know, there's a couple things that came to mind for me. One is it's almost like, especially at the beginning, you can't see how important Performance Club is until you have a team that is joining you at the Performance Club level, right? So when you're thinking and you're feeling like you're doing it all alone, those are 100 lonely dollars. You're like, oh, I can count each one of them. I feel the weight of how, like, reaching out. But when you've got other people who are joining you, everyone's lifting each other. It's just a very different experience, right? Like, you become lighter. And once, like for Mei Lee, for example, in August, she's going to get her first bonus, right? So we have to remember that for folks that we've got Amy and we've got, I didn't catch the name of the Daquan, who are on their first month. So they need to get it again to get that second month. And then on the third month, Legal Shield's going to send you a check. That's what Jim's talking about in terms of that, like, you know, you could get $6,000. It's like, it's right there. And the only thing you need to do is be consistent, right? And so that's just so exciting. We do have an upcoming Super Saturday. Have you heard? We have an upcoming Super Saturday. I'm incredibly excited. I do have a flyer, but I just want to hold off for just a quick second, because I know that because we have a mixed audience with deaf folks in it, my flyer is not up to date. And so I want to make sure that we have I'm just double checking all the phone numbers to make sure that people are able to make it. But in the meantime, and I'll go ahead and do this right here, let's see the excitement of what's coming in August. So the great Northeast is fired up, as you can see, and this is an amazing couple. I will say that I'll bet you Jim has much more, a better relationship with these wonderful people and leaders. You probably can speak a little bit more about their experience, but we can see here they're already $100,000 ring earners. They are PC for Life pros. They're the network vice presidents in 5 states in the Midwest. And so what this is, and just a reminder for everyone, is that this is where we are also showing our core values. We're showing up to our Super Saturdays. For the deaf folks who are in Massachusetts, I will have the phone number so that you're able to log in and be able to access an interpreter as well through VRS. But you see here at 12 o'clock, we're opening with the house, about half an hour. The way we do it is that Bob and April Hurst will be our guest open house presenters. And so another thing is that you get to see somebody else do the presentation. And, Jim and I get to chat every week, which is such a delight, but it's always that great reminder that there are people out there. Sometimes you hear the message, and all you need is the right person to just either say that word or come at it from a different way. And all of a sudden, you get it. You're there. You've reached that next level of understanding. Jim, I know you just turned away. I just wondered if you wouldn't mind sharing a few words about April and Rob.
Yeah, I think like you said, I know them well. And one of the things that's so powerful about the way they approach their legal show business is it's all as servants. They're so good at understanding that when you sign up a member, that's your customer. But also when you recruit an associate, you're sponsoring, which means you're being responsible for that person. And they've expanded that concept of service from their customer members to their associates, but also now to all the associates in their region. So I've been around long enough that I've seen people move quickly and then kind of disappear. And I just, I like to be frank, right? I mean, sometimes people move really fast, they come in, they go right to the top, and then a few months later, you're like, where did they go? What happened to those people? And then there's people that move quickly and build strong foundations. And that's what they're doing. They're building the right way, and they're doing it quickly. And there's nothing wrong with doing it quickly if you're doing it right, and they're doing that, and they're keeping their business duplicatable. And one other thing I wanted to mention, that was the reason I turned around, was I was looking for this. This is my $100,000 ring. Now, we didn't used to have a 50. So this is my $100,000 ring, and it's old. They don't look like this anymore. You won't really be able to see it, except you'll see that it's very old looking. Upstairs, I have the 2, which hopefully I'll be retiring for the 3 very soon. But the reason you're saying about the events, and I know we're doing them virtually right now, but my first Super Saturday event that I ever went to was in Manhattan. And I was brand new, and I had no idea why I had to be there. My sponsor told me I did. And I wasn't brand new. I was a director, but it was my first Super Saturday. I was brand new enough to know that I had no clue what was going on. But I drove down there with another person on my team. We went, and I'm from Vermont. You've all been to Manhattan. I've been there a million times now for Cliffs events. But at the time, I mean, those buildings, it was like being on another planet for me. I just couldn't believe it. It was so much scarier than even on TV, and I was scared to go. But I went there, and a gentleman had just become a $100,000 ring earner, and he was speaking on the stage, and that was great. And I was taking a ton of notes. But then we took a break, and when Bill, my associate, my friend, and I were in the lobby talking, and this gentleman, I don't know his name because it'd be a better story, but it was many, many years ago. He walked by, and Bill said, "Hey, congratulations." And he stopped, and he said, "Thank you." And he shook our hands. And I said, "Hey, can I just take a look at that ring?" And he had it on his hand. And he said, instead of showing it to me like this, he took it off, and he said, "Put it on." And I said, no, that's okay. And he said, "No, put it on." And he had me put it on. He said, "Now you're on your way." And I'll never forget that. And often, if you've ever been live with me somewhere, I'll take my ring off, and I'll offer to have you put it on. Now, I don't know how that works now that there's COVID-19. I guess that's probably a terrible idea.
You'll have to cover it in bubble wrap and sanitize it, and then we'll do the UV light.
Well, maybe we'll make replicas. We'll just hand them out. But the point is, I did not get in the car and drive to Manhattan and know that moment was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. I took a bunch of notes, and all those notes were helpful. They were mostly just concepts that are simple that make Legal Shield work. But in a lobby, a chance meeting changed really the way I saw my potential in Legal Shield, because somebody saw in me and spoken to me the fact that he said I wasn't anything special. I followed the system. But he not only said it from the stage, he said it in that lobby. And I've had interactions like that at every performance club trip, at every convention, in the hallways, and on the shuttle buses for years now. Every one of them valuable. None of them in the brochure about what you're going to get when you go to an event. So you're going to have aha moments in Charlotte. You're going to have aha moments on the virtual events. I don't know what someone's going to say that you need to hear, but I know that if you don't plug into the Zooms and you don't plug into our Super Saturdays virtually or in person, whatever that thing was, you're not going to hear it.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, we were just talking about this on our webinar before this. What's the difference? Why are we in a business where 300 families have become millionaires in Legal Shield with the same product, the same pricing, the same opportunity, the same marketplace, that other people just kind of watch from the sidelines? I know. It's all what happens between our ears.
Yeah. And I just wanted to add to this that right now, especially in Massachusetts, right, we know that there is, we have an additional piece to the experience here. It's not a barrier to entry because we can make a Legal Shield business here on our Identity Shield. It's a robust, it just got even better. And we're in 3% of the market. But the thing we also need to think of as we're building our teams is the more we are, let's just start in Massachusetts, the more associates we have in Massachusetts, when and if that time comes that the license shifts, you already have a stronghold in our home state. But again, going back to, and I love this idea, and I just haven't created the list yet, is I want a team in every state, right? You want at least one team in every state. Why not? That's exactly how we have to see it, is that there are people everywhere who need this. We're working not to, but sometimes through people, and those people are going to lead us to people in other states. And we should be prepared for that. We should think about it in the vision that we have for our teams. And it's not just us as the leaders and the people who are showing up, but we need to make sure that our team includes that in their culture, right? That's the stuff that you and I talk about, that the team culture has to say, this meeting is important. The Super Saturdays are important. We need to think, 100 plus one. We need to think about me plus three. Those little things are just about creating the culture where the only way you can go is forward.
You got it. And ultimately, the thing we control is exposure. How many people are we going to invite to see this story today? That's what we control. And Joe, we talked about this the other day. Every day I get up knowing that I'm giving somebody a choice that they didn't know they were waking up with. The choice to become an entrepreneur, to build an international business with Legal Shield, a virtual business. They didn't wake up that morning knowing that choice existed. And I stepped into their life as an agent of change so that they could decide if they wanted to be a part of what we do or not. I'm not here to convince them or change their mind. I'm not here to beg them or carry them on my shoulders, but I will give them a choice, because that's how I serve my community and my nation, because I believe entrepreneurship matters. And being an entrepreneur with Legal Shield matters even more. And as Jeff Bell says, what we do is noble and important. And I totally agree with that. So you don't have to worry about rejection or somebody telling you no. Understand that you're here to give people options. And you are truly one recruit away from an explosion in your business. And that will happen again and again and again, but only if you are doing the inviting and following up on a consistent basis. So I congratulate all of our associates in the state and really all of your friends around the US and Canada that are doing that noble thing, telling the story every day before it's comfortable, before you're sure, before you feel like you're on really solid ground, because that's when it's most important that you do it. Because the people you bring into the business that are going to have to do that same thing are not going to be sure, and they're not going to be solid, and they will be able to borrow your story about getting started even though you didn't know 100% of what to do, that you didn't have the confidence that you have later, and they can do it too. And that's what you do. And again, you step into people's lives, Joe, and all of our associates. But I just want Joe, I want to make sure everybody knows the work you do for all of us to make what we do possible in the state. And I said it before, I wouldn't have been able to say yes to this leadership role, except that I knew what role you were already playing behind the scenes. And so you make it look easy for me, where I can just come on here at the end of a long day on the Thursday night and say a few things that are pretty obvious to everybody anyway. But you give me a great platform to do that. But all of us have work to do. And I'm going to step back and you can have the final words. But here's my final thought for the night, is that July is not over. If you're watching this live or in replay, or, I shared this to a few places on Facebook. So some of the associates are plugging in on Facebook now. Listen to me. Look at me. It's not over. This month is not over. If you didn't get to the point in the month we're at now, you're not where you thought you were going to be by now in the month, do not, under any circumstances, start talking about, well, August is going to be better. Because what we do, the reality is how you do anything is how you'll do everything. And if you won't fight for your business today, then it's not going to be any different in August. So if you're not in Performance Club yet, there's time to do it. People do it in 1 or 2 or 3 days. Busy people do it quickly. You can do it too. If you're not sure because you're brand new and you've only got 48 hours left to get Fast Start qualified, be brave. Ask for help from the leaders in your team, because they know what to do and they can help you. But you have to ask for that help, and then you have to accept that help, and you have to follow their instructions. If you will do these things, these simple things like get Performance Club qualified and stay Performance Club qualified, then the path to things like the Platinum for Life $1 million bonus will not be nearly the mountain to climb that it might look like right now. Because again, how we do anything is how we do everything. If you'll fight when the stakes are low, like Performance Club, where the stakes are relatively low to be in Performance Club, then that is the skills, the resolve, the grit, the determination that you'll need when the stakes are a little higher, when it's the end of the month and you still need a few more premium dollars for senior director, executive director, or even platinum executive director.
Yeah.
Joe, thanks so much. And everybody, thank you. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. And again, we're imparting the wisdom. We have so much experience on these calls and in all these events. You know, sometimes we are not in the mindset. We're not ready to accept something like putting on $100,000 ring. I think that was a really great physical example of something that for some of us may just seem so unattainable. So I just want to give you a heads up that when you make that first Performance Club bonus, it's somewhere around $35 to $65. So in case your vision needs to be more like, you know, something that you can really understand and that you could feel good about, we have it in place for you. These are going to be subtle changes. It's not going to be about whether it's 35 or 1,000 or 100,000. It's going to be about the behavior that we do to get to that place. Putting on that ring is now starting to stretch ourselves and starting to think about ourselves in a different way. We are business owners. This is your business. And that's what brings so much pride to what we do, because everybody here, when you look around who brought you in, when you look about your team, these are all business owners, and we have the ability, and we've seen it already, that in the month of July, Legal Shield has done nothing but grow and reward us all. I want to thank you so much for coming out on Thursdays. If you are out there and you're looking for support, just know that my line is always open. I know that Jim's is as well. We do have a Facebook page called Baystate LSA. That's where some of you may be seeing this. This Zoom is every Thursday from 9:15 till about 10 o'clock, 9:45, 10 o'clock. And there's just so many other things going on. I do Will webinars on Thursday. Just a reminder that that is a great place to bring in your new associates, to bring in your new members. That is a value add. That is a tangible thing that's worth, depending on who's making it, maybe thousands of dollars that your members are going to be able to say, I believe in this product because it gave me something I could take home. And with that, I wish you all well. Have a wonderful weekend. We still have, is it 7 more days? 7 more days. Let's think it through. What is the smallest unit? If you had a $12 sale, how many of those do you need to be able to get to your 100? If you had a $25 sale, how many of those do you need to get to your 100 or to your Performance Club 90 or to that Performance Club Pro 180? Break it down into more reasonable, more accessible units. And already that's going to feel more like 3 or 5 and not like, you know, something that is unattainable. And know that we are here no matter whose team you belong to. And I wish you a wonderful and good night. Thank you so much.